26 episodes into the animated series Steven Universe, we're introduced to Peridot, who over the course of her time in the series becomes an unlikely ally to the main protagonist of our story. On the show, she really did become one of my favorite characters. I saw a lot of myself in her. Her hyperfixation with Camp Pine Hearts, her love of her friends and wanting to protect them from whatever she sees as injustice, and her relationship with Lapis just made her such an endearing character. And then to find out that storyboard artist Maya Peterson came out on Twitter a while ago to say that Peridot was the AroAce rep in the show made so much more sense as to why I relate to her. As someone who is on the asexual spectrum, rep is very, very rare. And I mean rare, not gonna lie, there's only like 5 or 6 canonically asexual characters that I can personally think of. So yeah, we don't get it a lot. However, some people actually have a problem with Peridot being Steven Universe's AroAce representation. I actually got this video idea from Angsty Ace over on TikTok, and here's what she has to say about it.
Hello, let's talk about the absolute dumpster fire that is the AroAce representation on Steven Universe. Now, the representation isn't technically confirmed by the creator, but one of the team members did tweet saying that Peridot is the AroAce representation because she doesn't like fusion. Now, on the surface, if you haven't seen the show, you might think, oh, that's not too bad of an explanation for a kid show. However, if you've seen how they've described fusion, it's a problem. So fusion, which is when two of the gem characters dance together and form into one entity, has been heavily debated within the Steven Universe community. Basically, everybody's like, is it an allegory for sex? Which the Crewniverse has said, no, it's not, it's just an allegory for any type of relationship. Well, the problem is if that's true, that means by saying Peridot is AroAce because she doesn't like fusion, you're saying that she can't form any sort of close relationship. On the contrary, if you say that fusion is sex, that's problematic because that means Steven has had sex with his mothers and his dad. In conclusion, dumpster fire.
And I think she brings up some really good points. In today's video, we're going to be exploring some of the ideas brought up in Rachel's TikTok. Her link will be down in the description. How seeing fusion as an allegory for developing some kind of close relationship is problematic when it comes to Peridot, and why Peridot's AroAce representation is actually not as good as the crew member was probably hoping it would be. Okay, so first off, in my opinion, if you want it to be good representation of any kind, the character has to be written with that orientation in mind. AKA, if the character is gay, have them be gay from the beginning. If the character is supposed to be AroAce, have them be AroAce from the beginning. It wasn't the creator of the series coming out and saying, hey, Peridot is AroAce, and it really doesn't feel like there was any intention in making her character those orientations from the beginning. It kind of felt like it was shoehorned in last minute by a staff member who I'm sure had the best intention and wanting there to be more LGBTQIA+ rep in the show. However, neither the creator of the show or the character in the show said anything about being AroAce. Did Peridot ever say that she was asexual or aromantic? No. But like Rachel said earlier, she did on multiple occasions during the show talk about not liking diffuse and shows a general disinterest in it as a whole. And having her only be AroAce because fusing is seen as an allegory for sex is just a little demeaning to the asexual and aromantic communities. Both asexuality and aromanticism are spectrums. Just because someone happens to be either or both of these identities doesn't mean they don't want to have sex or be in a type of relationship. And I'm not gonna lie, I love Peridot's relationship with Lapis. And I think it's the closest that we've ever seen a queer platonic relationship play out like that in media before. They live together, they have the farm, they help each other through traumas, and don't even get me started on the gem harvest episode. It has me in tears every single time. They care so much about each other, and it's one of the sweetest relationships in the whole series, and it's my favorite as well. And this gets me to Rachel's second point. Now, the creator has said that fusion is an allegory for any type of close relationship, but it's not necessarily sexual in nature, which I very much would hope, because Steven fuses with most of the adults in his life. So you're saying if Peridot still doesn't like fusing within that context, that she can't form any kind of meaningful relationship or connection in her life, which is an extremely big misconception within the asexual and aromantic communities. AroAce folks have to hear over and over again how they're unfeeling, cold, unhuman, and broken simply for their sexual and romantic orientations. Not only that, but the relationships that they form with other people are said to not be as important as someone who does feel sexual or romantic attraction. So when the creator says that fusion is a metaphor for any type of close relationship, it's kind of implied by a lot of people in the fandom that Peridot doesn't have as close of a bond with the other characters that she interacts with for not participating in the fusion process, which, if you watch the show, just isn't true. Not only is her relationship with Lapis one of the best written in the show, and the care and love they have for each other is just so beautiful, but Peridot values all of her other friends as well. I personally think the biggest example of this is when she stands up to Yellow Diamond and warns the crystal gems about the cluster at the center of the earth. She's caring and protective over the people that she loves. And by saying she's the only AroAce rep just because she doesn't like fusing is just doing a disservice not only to her character but also to the AroAce communities as well. I think a lot of people who are in the aromantic and asexual communities think that having Peridot as AroAce rep is just a tad problematic because there was really no thought put into it. People don't want writers and showrunners to just randomly decide halfway through production or even after the fact that a character is some flavor of LGBTQIA+. When that happens, it's not doing justice to the people who are in the community who just want to see their experience being played out on screen. Especially AroAce folk who never get to see that kind of representation in media. And that's why it's so important to get it right. Would I have been okay with Peridot being AroAce if that's what the creator and writers had originally intended? Absolutely. And this video doesn't stop AroAce people connecting with her character or seeing themselves in her whatsoever. Trust me, I love seeing her as AroAce too. It is nice that a crew member did try to put that kind of rep on her or labeled her that way. I just personally wish some more thought had been put into the character if that's where they wanted to take her, so the fandom wouldn't put some of these more problematic AroAce stereotypes onto her character. That's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Peridot being the AroAce representation of Steven Universe and your reaction to what the staff member did and how the fandom kind of reacts to her and her not liking fusion and some of those a little bit more harmful stereotypes that people have towards AroAce folk. I really do love her character and I love her relationship with Lapis. I think they're so cute. They're genuinely my favorite ship in the whole show. I just love seeing them together and I think they're really, really sweet. Thank you so much again for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!